What is going on, you guys? My name is Spyedico64, and welcome back to yet another NASCAR 1/64 scale diecast review. And we have a very special 1/64 scale diecast review to do today. This is something that I don't think I've ever seen anyone do, unless I could be missing something and maybe someone else did it. But as far as I know, this is the first time that I've seen someone kind of do this, or I don't know. I think this is something that I am kind of doing that, once again, like I said before, no one has really done before. And that is, and I'm not talking about reviewing two diecasts at once. That's been done numerous times, and I've done this several times before on my channel. However, though, it's not every day that you have a look at a driver's first win and their last win. But Lionel Racing has, they've been able to do it. Yeah, I mean, they had made both race wins their first and last win for this driver. And of course, the drivers that we are, and of course, the driver we're going to be looking at here today, put the cars over here for a minute. We're going to be having a look at here today at Kevin Harvick's number 29 and number 4 Atlanta race win, and also Harvick's number 4 Mobile 1 Richmond race win. All right. Yeah, so Kevin Harvick's first win and his last win in the NASCAR Cup Series have both been produced in the 1/64 scale, and we are here to, of course, have a look at both of these two cars. So that being said, this is going to be probably a bit of a longer video. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Here's a quick look at the packaging for the 29. It's the standard NASCAR Classics packaging. We've already looked at this with the Dale Earnhardt one back on Saturday. It says here, Kevin Harvick, 29 GM Goodwrench, 2001 Atlanta win, HOTO Chevy Monte Carlo. I don't know what that means. And then this one just says the Richmond one. All right. With that being said, the way we're going to do this here is that we're going to be looking here at, of course, both of the cars. But I think, though, that the way I'm going to do this is that we're going to have a look at the 29 first and then at the 4 last. Because this is a car that we're not used to covering on this channel. But this one, however, though, we've seen it before. So we're going to put the 1 or the 4 to the side and have a look at the 29 here first. Here's the car itself. Kevin Harvick's first career win in the NASCAR Cup Series. I think already at this point, we already know the significance of this race. Though to any of you newer viewers out there, I figure that, hey, you know what? Maybe we ought to tell the story of this race. So, of course, the way the story goes is that in the 2001 Daytona 500, Dale Earnhardt lost his life at the final lap of that race. And the next week, you know, there's a lot of eyes on the sport of NASCAR. And, of course, you know, big question would be, what's going to happen to the team, Dale Earnhardt? And they would eventually race the next weekend, but of course they took the number 3, painted white, rebranded it to the 29. Now this particular car right here, though, this is not how Kevin Harvick first this is not how Kevin Harvick's car looked at Rockingham. That was in black, and I think it was also the same at Vegas. I could be wrong. I did do a little bit of some research before. Actually, LE Productions 49 produced a video about the 2001 season and about the significance of that race. Probably one of those seasons that really was mired. I mean, if it didn't have that black cloud hanging over its head, it could have been probably one of the best, regarded as one of the best seasons in NASCAR. But due to the death of Dale Earnhardt, and then, of course, later in the year, the 9/11 terrorist attacks, one couldn't had to ask the question, you know, how will that season be more recognized? So as of course you can see, this is the Number 29, this is on the Chevy Monte Carlo mold. This is like the kind of sort of basic mold from back in the, back when they were releasing these cars. I think this is like the winner circle versions of these cars. And yeah, and this, of course, now while this car doesn't have the opening trunk or the opening deck lid or the hood or the rubber tires, it still is a very nice mold. And also, this is my favorite iteration of the Chevrolet Monte Carlo. It just really is. From that sloping front end to this curvature back end. There's something about these older NASCAR stock cars. I mean, look at that. You don't get that anymore. Like, wow. I mean, look at that curvature, really ecstatic looking back bumper. That just looks so freaking cool, man. And I already prefer this diecast already compared to that Dale Earnhardt one we already had to look at. Luckily, though, that I got the Daytona 500 win. And that's the Monte Carlo from when they switched it from, like, I think they stopped running it in, like, the 95 season up until the 2000 season. Then, of course, they converted to this. And then, of course, I think around 02 or 03, they switched the Monte Carlo to the one where they ditched the curvature bumper and they kind of just made it look like more like a generic kind of race car up until the latter end of the Gen 4 era. Anyways, though, let's kind of go ahead and have a look at the Spancers. So once again, unlike that stupid Dale Earnhardt one, this has the windshield detail, but no, this one though just doesn't. Don't know why. Why now, you lazy sack of laziness. Anyways, you got GM Good Wrench Service, plus we'll have a look at the race win damage here in a minute. Of course, you can see right there the Chevy bow tie. It says Monte Carlo on the front, number 29, RCR, 76 on both ends. Of course, 76 was the primary fuel for these NASCAR Cup cars. You can see Simpson at the block, Goodyear on top of the wheel well, Goodyear Eagle, number 1. Here's a look at the contingencies on the side. Of course, it does not have the Winston Cup logo or anything like that. And just to reminisce on all these logos, you can see 3M, 76, Mechanics Wear, EA Sports, of course, number 29, Snap-on, Oreo, Purdue, Good Wrench Service Plus, Sonic right there. Got a globe right there. I wonder what that is supposed to be. AC Delco, Realtree, Coca-Cola, Hershey's, Bass Pro Shops, Kevin Harvick. And then, of course, coming to the rear, you got GM Performance Parts, GM's Performance Parts Service Plus, GMGoodwrench.com. And, of course, the rookie stripes on the back. I could have sworn, wasn't there, like, supposed to be, like, a number 3 decal, like a tribute logo? Because I don't see it. That's odd. I could have sworn there maybe was a number 3 tribute. I guess not. Alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and now have a look at the race win damage. And being in a white car, it's dirty as all hell can be. Wow. Unlike those other two cars that we had to look at, this actually has some race win damage. Well, the Tim Richmond one did have some, but was hardly noticeable. So look at that front end. Absolutely just caked in all that rubber buildup, dirt and grime. I don't know what it is. Well, just look at that. This just comes from a bygone era of NASCAR where the tires wore, you know, unlimited horsepower, no tapered spacers or no big-ass tires like these Gen 7 cars have, or these next-gen cars. So you can see the front end is dirty. Of course, you have some damage right here, like a scrape. Going to this side, of course, you can see the rubber buildup. It's still pretty dirty on this side. See some more right down there, some tire. Probably from, like, doing the burnout. Or did he do a burnout? No, I don't think he did. I don't know. Maybe that was just from contact. And pretty much for the most part, yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It's not really as a present, but you can see that it is. There is some dirt and grime back there. Of course, you can see some more back there, and a little bit more back here as well. That Chevy logo is a bit bent, but I have to imagine he probably got pushed or something like that, or I don't know. Maybe that's a line out. Oopsie. I don't know. Could be either or. And of course, on this side, just some more rubber buildup and just more dirt. Of course, you can see down here with the exhaust pipe. Of course, right there, you can see where the flames would be. And here's an underneath look of the car if you wanted to see that. 2001 Monte Carlo. Yeah, pretty much. So that is the Harvick number 29. We'll put that off to the side. And now let's go ahead and have a look at this. This is a car that, of course, we're all familiar with. And that is the next gen car. So Kevin Harvick's first win was probably the biggest feel-good story in NASCAR. His first win was a feel-good story. Then this was his last win. A generic-ass race at Richmond Raceway. Which, I mean, hey, I guess that's just how life is. I mean, you just, I think that's just how it is with NASCAR, how it is with NASCAR nowadays. It's just, you don't know when it's going to be your last race. And of course, you know, this one was, I can't really remember much in this race. I think, because keep in mind, this was Richmond. So yeah, I think pretty much he had to pass. I don't forget who he passed. I don't know. I haven't looked back on this race either, because it was just a generic race from the modern day. But this is Kevin Harvick's last win, and this is the Mobile One car. Someone actually left a comment on one of my community tabs saying that this reminded them of a Jimmy John's car. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it does look like a Jimmy John's car. Kind of funny how both of these two cars are white, but this one has a bit of some red and this one has some black with the blue and some red. So, but yeah, I mean, if there was a difference between both of these two cars, this car right here just is covered in dirt and grime, which probably is one of the race wins people probably prefer, is where it has all the damage from the actual race. This one, though, is for the confetti crowd. Because, man, this car is covered head and toe in confetti. So, let's go ahead and let's see if we can read the sponsors out here. Now, this was before they started to add the windshield detail. But before then, they can only do of course, you know, the manufacturer and the driver. Of course, you know, they couldn't do what we have nowadays, which, of course, you know, has the windshield detail. Anyways, it says Ford, Harvick. It says Mobile One on the front, Ford. Here's a look at the Ford front nose from these older looking, or from the prior year Ford Mustang. Of course, you can see number 4, Sonunco Stewart Haas Racing. Number 4, Goodyear Eagle Tires, Gunmetal Gray Rims, NASCAR Cup Series, number 4. What the hell is that from? That's probably nothing. Yeah, number 4. Got, of course, that Pegasus right there. Mobile One. There is a, of course, obviously, there's a Busch Beer logo missing right there. Which, I mean, hey, I can live out without it. I don't know, maybe Harvick fans would probably be pissed off if there was. Still one there. You have Subway, Pristine Auction, Hunt Brothers Pizza. Damn. All these sponsors. I mean, man, look at all these sponsors, man, that left. Oh, there's Gear Wrench right there. Subway left NASCAR completely again. Pristine Auction, I think, went to someone in the Truck Series. Hunt Brothers Pizza went to Joey Logano. Gear Wrench went to Legacy Motorsport Club. So it does say Kevin Harvick right there, and there is a winner sticker. You can see there, it says number 4. Of course, there's a little space right here because they put the little sponsor box thing. Harvick Mobile One. This is probably the only side of the car that doesn't have confetti. Actually, I lie, there's some there. Mobile One, Ford Michigan license plate, number 4. Here's the other side of the car. If you wanted to, yeah, here's the other side of the car. And there's an underneath look at the car if you wanted to see that. Now, in terms of race wind damage, I mean, you're not getting much. I mean, once again, you know, compared, I mean, going from a older NASCAR stock car race wind to then in the modern one, you could see that there's hardly any. I mean, you can see a little bit of dirt and grime right here, and a little bit here, some there, a little bit some there, some on the side. You can easily see it, but it's really not present. You see some more damage back there a little bit, and then, of course, there's the other side, though. But the thing about this car is that it is just shit covered in confetti. Of course, you can see confetti on the hood, the grill, the splitter. This side, of course, the left side of the car, the roof, the deck lid, some on the back bumper, and of course on the right side. Huh, wow. This was, I was actually thinking about getting this car back when I was doing these reviews for the first time, these race win reviews. But I decided to go with the Busch Apple one since I'd never gotten that one. But yeah, though. So anyways, though, guys, that's going to conclude this video. That is Kevin Harvick's first win and his last win. Of course, these two cars represents really two different eras of Kevin Harvick's career. I guess, yeah, really the big major eras. Of course, you know, there were some changes to Harvick's car. Of course, we're going from Goodwrench to like Shell Pennzoil to Budweiser to then Busch Light and all the other sponsors that came with Harvick. But to kind of recap the eras, of course, this era right here was the Chevrolet RCR era, the number 29 era. That went from 2001 to 2013. And then, of course, at the beginning of 2014, he went to the number 4 team for Stewart-Haas Racing up until 2013. And, yeah, and I mean, wow, both of these two teams, RCR is still around, but are nowhere near what they were back in the heyday, back in the good old days of their heyday. And Stewart-Haas Racing, of course, is gone. And this is actually the last SHR 164 scale race win for the Cup Series, at least, that we have. Don't know if we're going to get Chase Briscoe's Darlington win. I do hope we do, but if not, this is going to be the last Stewart-Haas Racing Cup 164 scale. We'll have to see if they'll maybe make one of Cole Custer's wins in the winner's circle line, but I kind of highly doubt it. But that was a look at two really unique looking diecasts from representing two different eras. And as far as I can tell, this is the only time that Lionel Racing, I think, has released a driver's first win and their last win. But actually, that's going to change here in about a month, because they are releasing Jeff Gordon's 94 Coke 600 win, and for those who have his 2015, yeah, and to those who have his 2015, his Martinsville win, that's going to look really cool alongside. Maybe Lionel ought to re-release that one. I kind of highly doubt it, though. Besides, it's with ARP, which they're no longer in NASCAR, so maybe the licensing might be different. But anyways, though, guys, that's going to really conclude it for today's video. I hope all of you enjoyed this one. We got one more review coming out, and after that, I got no idea. So yeah, hopefully all of you will enjoy that. And with that being said, I will see all of you in the next video.